So Shakur Stevenson retires. Let's talk.
Push the weight in no flex. Flex the live is one in the six. With the runner boy, you nigga, no question. You will run a motherfucker high stepping. Hey, you never had a big enough weapon. Motherfucker never learned your lesson. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I'm a 88 pack nigga. I mean, day walker, drink blood, fangs out, full moon, motherfucker change like a hoe. Nigga. I'm just a nigga from the hood trying to stack a little cheddar for the money.
Drew Titan, Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. It's about 1 a.m. This just in. Shakur Stevenson, people just start sending me this in the DMs and the emails and via text, and I see this. Shakur Stevenson takes to X. I'm officially retiring from the sport of boxing. I'll be in the gym forever, perfecting my craft and helping the next generation become great and chase their dreams. I'm reading how it's written, but I ain't effing with this weak boxing game. He puts up the strong arm. Young man, you can remove the strong arm because strong is not what you're behaving like right now. When Bill Haney said that this kid is full of publicity stunts, well, those weren't his exact words, but he used it in reference to him. Yeah, I remember when he said he had called out Devin, and then he contacted them after the call out and said, hey, they made me do it. And he got into the ring after Devin beat Lomachenko. And he said he felt he lost. And then the next day he said, no, I felt it was a draw. This kid has been double talking. Now, look, I'm not on here to, clown around and call him out his name. But when Bill told you that this was a publicity stunt, and he says these things, this is one of the things he's talking about. And by the way, sidebar, is that his grandfather behind him right there? Is that the same guy? Is that Willie Moore? That guy, that's him? I'm looking at that cap he has on. It says snack, doesn't it? That's just a little, I just like to take a minute to shout out, Tank Davis for saying they need to get rid of snack. Well, someone from Shakur's team doing a ring walk with him is wearing a snack hat. Just wanted to point that out. That's just something I just noticed just now. But back to the topic. Are y'all finished? Are y'all done with this kid? This is out of nowhere. This is unprovoked. You see, all we want is for the best fighters in the game to get in the ring and mix it up and prove that they are the best in their division and probably the best in this current era. Again, I'm not going to clown Shakur. I'm not going to call him out his name. Look, man, I'm just addressing this how it comes. All right. All this talent that this kid possesses. And all I ever said was, it looks good so far, but I want to see him test himself. And the last time we saw this young man in the ring, he laid an egg. Although he won, but he laid an egg. He laid an egg. He won, but it wasn't exciting. He was pretty much, this was not a Floyd Mayweather Jr. performance when they used to say he ran and everything. No. Floyd would stand in the pocket in spots and make you miss and make you pay. Shakur didn't even do that. And it was so ridiculous that when Coach Cal spoke to my brother Marco, shout out to Marco Boxing, go subscribe to Marco Boxing. Coach Cal said they don't want to fight Shakur. And when Marco said, pretty much why, well, he explained, Coach Cal explained, if Shakur's not going to allow us to stand there and do what we do, what's the point? I mean, at least try and win the fight. And they also said, so they admitted that Shakur's style contradicts what Tank brings to the table, and he also said that he was afraid of poor judging. To me, that was an admittance, in my opinion, to not only Coach Cal not being able to coach Tank to a victory, but he also was admitting that Tank didn't have the physical attributes to contradict what Shakur brings to the table in that ring. So basically, he's saying that Shakur is bad business for a Tank, and he wouldn't win that fight. So why even bother? The bad situation behind that statement, though, is you're admitting that your guy can't beat Shakur. So I put emphasis on that for about a month. It kind of went viral last week or whatever have you. But I basically threw the alley-oop to Shakur's team and say, yo, look, man, you're the WBC champion, right? Tank was emailed. There goes that, now that's a personal shot. The email champion. Tank was emailed the WBA belt after he said he didn't want it, but now he has it. That's an easy unification fight for both of these men. These young men, right? They're undefeated. Someone's, gotta go. This is for at least two of the marbles. And Shakur, for some reason, never reached out to Tank's team. After Tank already said, Tank's team, the coach already said, yo, look, we're avoiding this guy. And Tank didn't even call out Shakur. This is the sport. This is, I'm not used to this, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not used to this. I come from an era where if the best fighters were in a division, they fought. A fighter really didn't go up and wait to challenge himself unless he took care of business in his very division. This era, I've never seen anything like this. And what's worse is that these fighters have fan bases that justify all of this. What do you make of this? Did he vacate the WBC belt? This is how I know whether he's serious or not. Sometime today, if there's an announcement that he has relinquished the WBC strap, then I'll believe him. Outside of this is nothing but a publicity stunt. If you believe that this kid is retired, hey man, you're entitled to that. I'm not going to believe until he lets that belt go. In any event, he's serious and he lets the belt go. You can't rate his career. Hall of Fame? No. All we'll be talking about is how he looked in the ring against subpar competition. Subpar. I'm looking at the fan base that supports this kid, and I'm just scratching my head. I'm going to be watching. I want to know what you guys are going to say about this. This is disgusting behavior after what your grandfather said. And I'm not sure, but weren't you on Twitter or X or whatever they call it now? Wasn't you on there telling your grandpa, hey, damn, man, you should have me in a ring with other people. Pretty much saying you're talking about Devin and everything else. You should be talking about me and my opponent. Something to that effect. I didn't read it. I just heard, secondhand information. Y'all could put in the chat what Shakur's response was to his grandfather. I don't recall. In other words, he's doing an interview. And instead of talking about your grandson, you're talking about Devin. And talking about something that happened 10 years ago between a 13-year-old Devin and a 17-year-old Erickson Lubin. And celebrated that nonsense. And you see, the reason why I brought that up real quick is because the apple don't fall far from the tree. As grandpop is on some nonsense, then it makes all the sense in the world that Shakur follows suit. I don't know what to make of this other than what I'm looking at. I don't know what to make of this other than what I'm looking at. I look at guys like Shakur and their behavior. I'm looking at Tank and that behavior. I'm looking at guys like Jared Anderson, who's cool with Shakur and that kid's behavior, but I'm 23. The same age as Devin. Look at how Devin conducts himself outside the ring, inside the ring, during interviews. And then look at how Jared Anderson, that man's undefeated. He wins a fight, And then they put the camera on him. He's laying on his mother's bosom. These kids are mentally weak. These kids are baby poo soft. And I do not relate to this behavior at all. I don't understand it. You can't make me understand it. The only conclusion that I've come to is that this era is in error. I don't co-sign this at all. This is disgusting. Give up the belt to make me a believer. But I'll say this, if you do give up the belt and disappear for a while, when you come back, let it be at 140. By the way, Shakur did say he'd go to 140. Tank did say he can go to 140. Only person I don't see running around with this weird behavior and these weird tweets and everything else is Devin Haney. Everybody else this is just ridiculous. I'm not arguing with you guys anymore. I look at you Tank fans and you Shakur fans. I look at you guys very strange when you go in the pocket and go hard for these people. That means that you co-sign this ridiculous behavior. This is ridiculous. If you fans of the kids because you think they're sexy and you have some sort of weird attraction to them, man, it's 2024. I already know about you kids. You skinny jeans wearing, laying up on your girl's couch, not paying the bill in the house, eating up her food. But when you greet your boy in the street, you kiss him on the cheek. Man, I know what's going on with y'all. I don't subscribe to any of this. Any of it. This is the most suspect ever in boxing. And I'm disgusted with it. I don't care what anyone thinks.